behalf of staff and students of Aeronautical Department would like to extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Mr. Harsha RM, Lead Engineering at Boeing, India. I also welcome our beloved HOD, Dr. Anand SN. Also, all our teaching and non-teaching staffs and students present here. I now request our HOD, Dr. Anand SN, to florally welcome our chief guest. I would like to call upon Dr. Anand SN, Head of Aeronautical Department, to address the gathering.
Very good morning to all of you. It's a great pleasure to see all of you and especially the enthusiasm which I look at you people. And one more thing is that actually now itself I'm thanking all my faculties who are really worked hard to make it like this, and especially the Aura group. But still I wanted more, what to say, perfections in your work. We'll see that, we'll discuss all those things in the later stages. And without wasting much time, and let me thank my friend and guide summer in aeronautical field and all, Mr. Asha, who is always with me for many things. And so far actually we shared a lot of stuff with each other, and he's ready to help us in many directions. And instead of telling all those things from my mouth, probably he will only share with all of you in what way he can help us for the development of the department as well as for the development of your own careers. And without wasting my time, and let me hand over the desk to Mr. Harsha from Boeing, lead engineer, who is going to address all of us in his own rich knowledge to enrich us. So with this, please sir, so that is it for you. Thank you.
To switch the slides you have, or you will do it? Can we begin? Yeah. Good morning, one and all. Oh, there's. Yeah. Okay. Again, once again, good morning, one and all. And thank you for assembling here today to hear my session out. And thank you, Anand sir, for inviting me. It's my pleasure to be here and to be called as a chief guest. Yeah, but quite frankly, I also was a student like you some time back, so I want to be with you. And also after this session, we can have quite a good interactive session about what your expectations are from the aircraft industry side, and also how I can help you in terms of you to gear up to become industry ready. With that, we can get started. The session would be on aircraft industry and overview. This is a very generic session, and just to level set on the expectations here, I don't want to present any kind of a research work here, what I'm doing in Boeing or something, but this is overall perspective of from a commercial aircraft industry, which is primarily what I am working on, that is Boeing. So the agenda is aircraft industry, about developing an aircraft, how the process starts in an aircraft industry like Boeing. Then in that, what are the classifications of aircraft industry and the development of aircraft itself. The second would be trends in modern day aircraft development, because this is very important to you. That is, you may not be designing something which I am designing today. The moment you come out of college, there could be the latest advances which you may have to look into. So we'll just take a look at what are the trends in aircraft design, what new generation of aircraft, and what are the new technologies which are coming up. And lastly, again very important, job opportunities for you. You need not always have to be an aero or a mechanical. There are multiple streams which you can pursue, including software, electronics. We'll just take a look at what are all the different opportunities available. Next slide. Okay, let's begin with classification of aircraft. You may all be aware, but just to bring it up here once again. Aerospace is classified as aeronautical and space tech. Aeronautical, you know, whatever which flies with wings, mostly rotary or fixed wing. Commercial and military, again it's classified. Space tech, you all know that it is something which gets launched into space. And in commercial aviation, what are the different branches? We have passenger aircraft, we have business jets, and cargo aircraft. These are some of the primary products which Boeing works on. Military aviation, we have fighter aircraft, tankers, bombers, and reconnaissance. Again, most of the aspects Boeing is involved in. Okay, now let us try to begin with the development of an aircraft. So this may be a very intriguing question for all of you, that how actually a company like Boeing starts off with a design of an aircraft. For you it may be that you need to build a drone or a glider or something. So you start somewhere. So how does Boeing do? Yeah, next slide. Okay, one second on the previous slide. So as you see here, this is a basic sketch of an aircraft. This is not a final drawing what Boeing or any other airframer does. This is a concept image which Boeing thinks of, that how the aircraft can look like initially. And how that comes into picture is, we do a lot of market surveys with the clients, customers, airlines. They give the need that I need a 50-passenger aircraft which can fly 3,500 kilometers and having this kind of efficiency. We take all of that input and then we start putting up a basic sketch like this. So this is a starting point of an aircraft design. And going forward, we'll see what are the different stages of development. Very similar to a design cycle, how you all, your HODs are also will be emphasizing on, that is starting with a design. You all will start with a design. You probably start with a sketch of how your glider or drone should look like. And then you do the manufacturing of that, hand building. In our case, it is the machines which do the manufacturing. Then the assembly, all the components of your drones you will assemble together, the electronics, the hardware, the rotors, the propellers. And finally, the testing and delivery. You will not deliver something before testing, right? You always test your drones, you always test your aircraft. So testing and delivery. Okay, in design, typical design cycle of how we work. would be a requirement kickoff. That is, what is the requirement? As I said, the airlines give us requirement. So understanding that requirement, we will start a kickoff. That is, this is how we start with. Then preliminary design, we put up a basic sketch, as we saw, a basic sketch, and try to understand how the aircraft could look like in future. Concept review with stakeholders. Stakeholders, here also you may be aware that your HOD could be a stakeholder who will be witnessing your designs from day one. You have to report to him, you have to show him what you're doing. So similarly for us, the stakeholders could be our chief designers or airlines, that we, how they want, are we in line with them? So multiple discussions keep happening with them, that yes, we are going on the right track. If not, then we have to come back, change the design, then again go ahead with them. So those are the stakeholders. Then critical design review. Critical design review is that everything should be perfect to be manufactured. That is the level of detail. Say you have designed a wing, but in wings there are so many fasteners. So what fastener is used, what is the plating on the fastener, everything has to be detailed here, and that is a critical design review. That is why it's called critical. So this is just before production. And finally, we all prepare drawings for release. That is the same sketch, but with all details, the manufacturing dimensions, the tolerances, everything. That comes into the release of the drawings. Next stage. Next stage is the manufacturing itself. So the fabrication, what I saw your models there. So you are fabricating a lot of drones and fixed wing aircrafts in yours. So you're basically manufacturing that in your workshop there. So similarly, with a drawing, we analyze the drawing requirement, then understand some of the tolerances and other things. Then we prepare a manufacturing sequence, like what should be manufactured first, then what, then how it can come together. So after that, here you are building most of them in-house, but Boeing is a large company. Say for example, Boeing 777, a wide body, one of the Boeing models. Trust me, 15,000 suppliers supply parts for that one single aircraft worldwide. All of them come to the Boeing factory and they get assembled together. 15,000 suppliers, 1 million parts, all come together to make your one aircraft, which costs you roughly around 3,500 crores one piece. One aircraft of Boeing 777 is 3,500 crores. Yeah, and then assign the manufacturing to vendors and the procurement and manufacturing, and finally everything is set for assembly. That is, after you procure all the parts, say for drone you might procure your stepper motors, your electronics and all those things from online stores. Then you have to start assembling it, which is the next sequence. So in our case, we require a lot of fixtures and tools because we need to hold things before assembling. Say you want to assemble two parts with a screwdriver, so that is a tool. A screwdriver is a tool for you. For us, we need advanced tools. Sometimes as big as this room, we have fixtures in Boeing to assemble all the parts together. Then there are three stages of assembly. One is component assembly, that is small parts get assembled and which becomes a larger assembly. Then multiple larger assemblies become a system. Say for example, an aircraft engine is a system which has multiple stages, a compressor stage, turbine stage, a fan stage. So all of that comes together and then that becomes a system assembly. Engine is a system as a whole. And finally the full assembly, the engines, the wings, the fuselage, everything gets assembled to become the full aircraft. This is assembly system. Yeah. Testing, component testing. Again, as I said, testing becomes, I am from the testing background in Boeing. We are BT&E, Boeing Testing and Evaluation. So testing becomes very, very critical because you all know that aircraft industry is one of the most critical industries. When you fly up, you have no chance of any kind of escaping on things. You have to come down, you have to land. So it is a very safety critical industry, and the safety is like zero defects. At least automobile has 6 sigma, which is 1 in a million, but aircraft industry is zero defects, not even 1 is allowed. So safety critical industry, how it becomes more and more safe is once you start testing. Even if you are drones, you have to show in front of somebody, you test it at least 10 times before you show it in front of somebody, right? Something like that. Testing is very important. Again, different stages of testing, component testing. A spring, if it is going into an aircraft, we test the spring for compression, number of cycles, fatigue cycles. That is a component level testing. Then systems testing, as I said, engine. Engine is a system. So engine manufacturers like GE, Rolls-Royce or Pratt & Whitney, they test the engine as a system as a whole. There are multiple tests which the engines have to undergo. They do that. And for example, you may be aware of landing landing gears, that is the wheels which come down and go up during landing and takeoff. So the entire landing gear system is actually a system in itself. Those will be tested separately. I have a few videos. We can take a look after my session. I will just take you through how the system testing happens. And finally, the flight testing itself, where the entire aircraft is flown in the air to test for various things. It could be a flutter test. It could be even on taxiing test, that is, on the runway itself, there are many tests which the aircraft do before actually taking off. So these are the flight testing. They all have sequential procedures, and the engineers or the pilots, they have to follow all that and certify the aircraft that this is safe to fly. Only then passengers are allowed to be got into it. Airlines can be handed over the aircraft and regular flying can happen. But typically a flight testing program happens for 3 to 4 years on a new program. The flight test engineers, the pilots, they keep flying, testing various parameters. Of course, there will be some problems. They have to come back to designers. We will rectify that. We will change the systems. Then again, they take it up. Finally, that iterative process finishes, and then after 3 to 4 years, typically, they get the certification that these can be delivered to airlines and they can be put to commercial usage. So on delivery itself, as you see here, Korean Air A380 Jumbo, some Super Jumbo is being delivered. It's a fantastic ceremony that you can, it's a happy moment for all of us. The airlines receiving their product, something you are going and taking delivery of a car in showroom, everybody is happy there. Suzuki, who sells, is also happy that one of their products is sold and you are buying one, so you are happy, something like that. But this takes a lot of effort to come here. Typically in the aircraft industry, it takes around 8 years or 10 years for one aircraft to roll out with full certification, a new program. So lot of effort. Roughly around 5,000 engineers to 8,000 engineers work on one program. Yeah. Okay. So let us see a little bit on the systems and what all I was just speaking about it. How the aircraft industry itself, has different classifications. One is airframers. What do you mean by airframe? The fixed-wing aircraft, what you are building, the whole thing is a frame, and onto which you put up a motor or a rotor, which becomes a propulsion. So the airframe. Companies like Boeing is an airframer. Companies like an Airbus is an airframer. Companies like Dassault Aviation, who build the Rafale, is an airframer. That is, on the overall front, they build the airframe, but that includes a lot of systems inside. The second one is propulsion. Propulsion is the engines, what is provided to the airframer. So these are the major classifications. But under both of them, there are sub-classifications. That is, as I said, systems. Engines is a system, main landing gear, nose landing gear is a system, and flight controls is a system. Support equipment. Support equipment, you might be seeing in airports that there are a lot of equipment which are used for cargo loading, material handling, many things like tools, fixtures. So they all come under support equipment, but they are also a part of the aircraft industry. Then again, components. As I said, individual components. You have gearboxes with many different stage of gears. So individual gears become components. So those component manufacturers manufacture only those components put together, and that will become a system, and then it will go to the airframe. And services. So airlines is a service-oriented company. Maintenance of aircraft is a service industry. Aftermarket, overhauling and repair, that is also a service. So these main two categories come under all other different subsystems. So airframers, as we see, this is our Boeing 787, which is being assembled in the Charleston factory. So as you can see, these are all the support equipment, as I was showing, the auxiliary systems which are used for building the aircraft itself. So manufacturers of them also come under the aircraft industry. They manufacture according to the airframer need or Boeing needs. So they are also a part of the aircraft industry. Next. Propulsion, we have major categories. Turbofan, you might be studying that. Turbofans are the ones which are mostly put on the commercial aircraft to increase the fuel efficiency. Turbojets go into military fighters mostly. Turboprop are the smaller capacity engines which propel the propeller into the aircraft. And systems, as I was mentioning, landing gear. As you see, there's a main landing gear there. That's a huge stem with wheels. That's how it looks like in a close-up. Then high lift system. You may be seeing these being operational during takeoff and landing. These are spoilers, and these are the flaps. They use it for lifting the aircraft at slower speeds, like during landing and takeoff, aircraft usually flies slow, and to increase the lift of the wing, they use that. So high lift is a system which many manufacturers manufacture and then provide that to Boeing, and we will assemble it. And avionics, the entire cockpit system which controls the aircraft, including communication, global positioning systems, and the flight controls itself. All of this are all systems. Yeah, support equipment, as I was mentioning, test rigs. So here also you have a lot of testing equipment. So in Boeing, we have similar things. For every component what we do, we have a test rig to test it. It could be a specialized test equipment, or it could be something like you might have seen a small vibration equipment in your labs here. We have a large vibration checker because our components are large. So we vibrate that and see whether our components work under those conditions or fail under those conditions. So test rig manufacturing and those equipment manufacturers itself are a separate industry. They support our business. Then maintenance equipment, as I was mentioning, aircraft have to be maintained at regular intervals of time. Say every 200 hours of flying, it has to come to the hangar and it has to be maintained, overall checking done, and some components have to be replaced. Very similar to how your car maintenance you give after every 5,000 kilometers, 10,000 kilometers. The aircraft also have a cycle time on which maintenance has to be done. Then access platforms. This is again to access various components of the aircraft. This blue steel structure what you're seeing. So that is the access platform as supported. So components, as I was mentioning, gears itself could be a single component. Millions of such components will be on an aircraft: fasteners, gears, springs, all those. So small companies manufacture that and supply to Boeing, and we will assemble it later. And fasteners again, as I said, most critical thing to join two things, fasteners. So they are also components. Okay, with that, I just gave you an overall picture of commercial aviation industry, of what all kinds of things are there and what all types of further subclassification of industry. So the moment you think aeronautical, you always think a Boeing or an Airbus or something, but there are hundreds or thousands of other companies which support, which also take in mechanical and aero engineers. So that was my intention of bringing those points here: systems, subsystems, component manufacturing, high precision manufacturing. You can join any of them for that matter. It's not just the big names always make the difference. Yeah. So some of the recent trends in aviation, as I was mentioning, this become very critical to you because you may land up somewhere on these kind of technologies in future where we are progressing towards. One would be the digital twin, a very important concept where a CAD model, you might be working on AutoCAD, CATIA software, right? So CAD model is basically a digital twin of what you will manufacture in future. So you will have an upfront knowledge of what you are designing in CAD and you do analysis. So that's a digital twin. And the moment it gets manufactured, you have a twin of that but in digital form. So we are taking that to next advanced level by putting sensors into the aircraft, and on a digital platform, we are understanding how the aircraft is performing in live conditions. Somebody today morning was mentioning about IoT, and you guys are working on real-time monitoring of test data. So the same thing is a concept of digital twin. That we are in flight, whatever the aircraft is undergoing, we are having all those data on ground, and we are analyzing what is happening with the aircraft. Say there is a malfunction of a certain part, we will get that data automatically. So the moment the flight lands, we will already have the mechanics ready to repair that, rather than they come on ground and we try to identify what is the problem. So we will save a lot of time there. So that's the beauty of a digital twin. The second thing is blockchain. Many of you might have heard about Bitcoin, or many might have also explored into Bitcoin mining. So, but when it comes to a blockchain, which is a basic fundamentals behind a Bitcoin, it is a very trustable way of securing data. And aircraft industry being very critical in technology, any competitor can try to replicate your design very easily. So you have to secure your data. So blockchain helps you enable securement. You can secure your files, your drawings, your test data, everything using blockchain. So that is coming up. We are using it in many multiple aspects in the company now. Air taxis. So you might have read about this very frequently, that there are many tests going on. Chinese manufacturers, European manufacturers, they are trying to build up something like this. A drone which you all are trying to build on a larger scale, which can carry humans. So that's an air taxi. It can go from point A to point B like an Ola or Uber, but much faster and safer also. So that is air taxi, which could be, there was a startup recently which demonstrated the air taxi in India with Prime Minister Modi witnessing it. So that is getting inducted to the Indian Navy shortly. So that is an industry which is coming up, a startup industry in the field of aero, which you can always look at. Or maybe if you are competent enough, you can start up an air taxi company on your own. Scale up your drones, that becomes an air taxi. And additive manufacturing, this is the field in which I specialize, apart from testing. That additive manufacturing, very, very effective technology. 3D printing, what we call, or you may have 3D printers here in your labs. So it is coming up very much because aerospace, you don't have part manufacturing in millions like automobile, like thousands of cars, millions of components. We are very limited in number. We manufacture on 60 aircraft per month or 50 aircraft per month. So parts are also limited. Additive manufacturing gives us that advantage that we can manufacture according to what we want and at a less scale. So Boeing and other companies are investing very, very heavily, particularly in metal additive manufacturing, which is very critical and also difficult to manufacture for now. But this is one booming industry and which you all should look at. I think I have explained this. Maybe a couple more points on, in the interest of time. Let's see. Predictive maintenance, as I said, we can predict the maintenance beforehand, what is happening on the aircraft. Real-time monitoring and vehicle health assessment all go hand in hand on how we can monitor the health of the aircraft life. Yeah. Blockchain, yeah. Enhanced security, traceable transaction. Who has done what, you can trace it easily, and tamper-proof. Nobody can hack your systems in blockchain. Air taxi, one is autonomous, that you need not have to have a pilot. It automatically drives on its own and takes you where you want. All you need to do is sit and relax. And time saving, because it is up in the air, so you need not encounter signals or traffic or anything. It just goes point to point. And it's ideal for urban mobility. Urban mobility meaning that it is ideal for city conditions where there's a lot of traffic in Bangalore and places like that you might have seen. So air taxi can take you from point A to point B. It is being worked out in Dubai very seriously, and shortly we may have the actual air taxis in Dubai going forward. Yeah, additive manufacturing, faster prototyping and quick product realization, and main thing is complex geometries. That is, anyone here working on topology optimization or things like that in structural analysis? Anybody working on topology optimization or things? That doesn't mean, okay. What I mean to say is, suppose you have a bracket, like a typical L-shaped bracket. If you run a topology optimization in FEM software, it will give you very weird shapes, but the strength will be same, like a fully manufactured bracket. But it would remove almost 80% of the material. So aircraft industry is one where everybody appreciates you if you remove material, because up in air, anything light we want. So if you have very complex geometries based on topology optimization, you cannot manufacture it by milling and turning. You have to go for additive manufacturing. So additive manufacturing helps you size the product in such a way that you can reduce a lot of weight, reduce a lot of material, and also attain the same strength. Okay, a few on the continuation in trends in aviation. Again, the swarm drones. I think, sir, anybody working on swarming of drones here? Awesome. So that is becoming a very good concept. There was a recent competition conducted by Indian Air Force called Meher Baba competition. I think Idea Forge won that, right? Yeah. So that competition is about drones which can talk to each other in mid-flight using artificial intelligence and do a mission on its own. You need not control each and every drone. One master drone and leader drone, which what we call, and the follower drones. They talk to each other, they complete a mission and they come back. So that is advanced artificial intelligence, and a lot of companies are investing, and a lot of air forces in the world are looking for such technology. Where one drone which can cover an area of 25 kilometers, a swarm of drones spread out can cover an area of 50 kilometers in one single mission in 20 minutes. So that is the booming field. And supersonic aircraft, you may have heard about Concorde and other things before. Of course, we lost a couple of them due to accidents, and also operational costs are very high, so they were grounded. But there are companies which are working, startups which are working for bringing supersonic air travel back, because we are limited by that Mach concept. That is, a commercial aircraft cannot go beyond 900 kilometers because that supersonic boom comes, and even though you want to get faster, you have the propulsion, but you cannot because of the limitations in nature. So supersonic aircraft can go beyond that. They can take you at 2,000 kilometers per hour. Suppose I fly to Delhi now in 2 hours, you can go in 1 hour or half an hour in supersonic aircraft. So for a lot of people, that's a great time which they can gain. And these were there in before, but the technologies back then were very complex. The maintenance issues were there, and also we lost few of them for technical faults. So startups are working to bring back supersonic aircraft now, and 3D printing is playing a very big role in that. Okay, we come almost to the final part of it. Job opportunities. So I think this is where everyone is interested much. So these are all the branches which typically are available in an aircraft industry. Even more, I mean, further categories if you take, there are, but these are the main: mechanical, aeronautical, instrumentation. IT and DA means IT and data analytics, electronics and electrical. We need all of them. It's not that we need only mechanical and aero. That could be a misnomer or kind of mindset in students that if you want to enter aero industry, you should be from mechanical or aero background. No. We require electrical because we have motors in aircraft. We have a lot of electrical actuation systems in aircraft. We need electronics, the avionics, cockpit thing, what you saw, everything is electronics. IT and DA, the flight infotainment system, the communication, the satellite navigation, you all require some IT behind it. So you require IT there. Instrumentation, all of the sensors work in, there are maybe 3,500 sensors on an aircraft. All of that data come to the cockpit. The pilot will see that and then fly. So instrumentation is required. Aeronautical, obviously, and mechanical, much obviously. So yeah, going forward, we'll see each branch what kind of other things you have. Then mechanical system design. I am a mechanical system design engineer in Boeing. That is, I design testing systems for aircraft. Similarly, for actual production systems, there could be mechanical design. Structures, I saw structures lab here. So obviously, structures is a part. The airframe itself is a structure. Each and every part, what you put onto aircraft is a structure. Test equipment design, as I again said, for testing something, you need an equipment. That design also, I'm a test design engineer, so I design a lot of fixtures and test rigs. So, though mechanical background, I do that. So, test equipment design is one of the regions which you can explore. Reliability engineering. So, you know that the concept of MTBF, mean time before failure and all those, reliability. So, you want a part to work for 100,000 cycles, so you do a mean time before failure analysis. So, reliability engineers from a mechanical background are there for doing that analysis. Thermal systems design, this is thermodynamics. There are a lot of thermal equipment in aircraft. So, how to design that thermally? I am also working on a heat sink kind of thing. So, thermal systems design will come into that picture. CFD analysis, on thermal CFD analysis in software like Fluent, people do that. This is the new trend of model-based systems engineering. That is, whatever you do as a model, we are going away from drawings now. Typical drawings like a sheet where we just give a model to a vendor, he will upload it into a CNC, he will do the machining. The program is done automatically by the machine. So that is happening by model-based systems engineering. And then propulsion systems, engines, again purely mechanical. Of course, you need propulsion, basics of thermal and other things, but all the components which go, the turbine blades, everything is mechanical. You need to design them. Okay, aeronautical, your branch basically. So aerodynamics, you already have, I saw a wind turbine, a wind tunnel, it's huge. Academically, I have not seen such a huge wind tunnel. You guys are lucky to have that. So you do aerodynamic analysis, right, in that most of the time. Yes. So aerodynamics is a part. Numerical master geometry, any idea what is this? NMG, numerical master geometry. Okay. So whatever you are doing as on an aircraft level, if you are testing in a wind tunnel, so before that you would have created a CAD geometry of it, right? Like wireframe model or something in CAD. So that is called as a numerical master geometry, where that defines the aircraft outer layer or wetted area, what we call, which gets to which the air hits outside the aircraft during flight. So that as numerical master geometry. So with once aerodynamics will give us that geometry, then we will start putting systems into it. Based on that, that is why if you see aircraft components, they are very, very different in nature. You don't have anything straight or parallel. It will be curved because we have to align to that aerodynamic surfaces. So that numerical geometry will drive all other systems. So that is numerical master geometry. Propulsion systems in aeronautical, because you have to design systems which are aerodynamic in shape, engine, cowling and all those things. So propulsion engineers are also part of aeronautical group. Flight control systems which dictate aeronautical, that is flight control surfaces. You have the rudder, you have the ailerons, you have the other flight control systems as we saw. So those are being done by aeronautical engineers, but they become a part of flight control systems. Fuel management systems, CG management and other things. So CG management, center of gravity in aircraft becomes very important because you may think that the center of gravity always will be at one point, but as the aircraft consumes fuel, so the center of gravity keeps shifting. And if people are moving inside, say somebody is going to the washroom, so his weight is going, so the center of gravity is. So that management is also a part of aeronautical engineering. And aerostructures. Aerostructures is that the same structures which I said, mechanical structures. When it is designed by aeronautical group, it becomes the aerostructure. Okay. Instrumentation, as I said, we have around 3,500 sensors or more than that in any aircraft. So the instrumentation design itself, what instrument you need to put on the aircraft will be part of it. Then instruments have to be calibrated because you don't know, after some time it may not show right reading. So obviously you have to calibrate it. Calibration is required. Closed loop control systems, system simulation, you are running some simulations. So instrument, based on instrument feedback, you can run simulations. Data logging, that is this part I do because during testing we take a lot of data and we have to log it and put up some results. So data logging, health monitoring and flight test instrumentation. So electrical, again, the next generation power generation, because going forward electric aircraft will come, so electric power generation will be there. Electrical actuation, we are going from hydraulic actuation to electrical actuation. So electrical actuation will probably, you will all be having electric actuation going forward. Motor design, wire harness. Say in an aircraft we may have 2,000 kilometers of wire, so all put together end to end, it will be 2,000 kilometers of wire bundles inside aircraft. Battery design and management, electric aircrafts will have batteries, so that design has to be done, and how do we manage that battery? Because it gets heated, we have to cool it, otherwise there could be fire on board. So that is one thing. Lighting systems, in cabin you have all these lightings, right? And also outside there will be some flickering lights, all those things, so for safety. Lighting systems do that. And all electric aircraft, as I said, electric aircraft. Okay. Similarly, on electronics, I think you might be much aware by this fly-by-wire systems, right? You might have studied in your aeronautical fly-by-wire system. So earlier it was mostly the wire and the pedal and all those things. Now fly-by-wire, you just give a stick shake and that same thing gets controlled in the two wires. So that is fly-by-wire done by electronics people. And so many other branches as well. Navigation and communication is one important. I think you can get ready with the videos. Yeah. So same thing with IT and here, data analytics. I'll just leave it here so you can take a look at it. Okay, next one. Okay. Here probably we'll have look of around 4 or 5 videos. Then we can convene for question and answer. as I said, you guys might work more on electric aircraft than we do. So the thing is, the challenges in electric aviation is the battery systems. They are not yet powerful. That is, for limited size, the battery capacity what we have, it cannot cater to say like the aircraft what we have, a 777 carrying 200, 300 people. It is not up to the mark. It may carry 1 or 2 people for now, or maybe 7 people. But those have to become more and more denser so that we can pack more energy. Say, for example, if I have to say conventional propulsion system engine, it is 100 times more powerful than an electric engine. So we have to progress towards that so that all these electric aircraft can become electric. So we are progressing, but it may take some time. I cannot comment exactly how long, but 10 years, 15 years, it all depends on the battery technology. That's the main challenge what we are doing. There's also one trend which is happening is the airframes, what we have. The same airframes they are trying to retrofit with electric engines. They're not redesigning the existing airframes, but they're trying to put electric propulsion, hybrid propulsion, that is both the biofuel and electric. So combination of these can start coming forward immediately in future, but fully electric is sometime. Thanks for the good question. Any further questions?
So my doubt is basically after aeronautical engineering, is it an option to go into aircraft maintenance?
Aircraft maintenance?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, the services part is also one of the biggest things. Like maintenance, something which has entered the market has to be maintained, and every aircraft will be maintained. So there's a huge industry itself in airports primarily. As you see, there'll be, the moment you land, some few engineers will come and start checking the aircraft. That's part of aircraft maintenance. That's also...
No, like right after aeronautical engineering, would it make sense to do AME?
Finally, it's your passion. What you want to be. You want to be on the design side, or you want to be up, right up front in front of aircraft, maintaining it. It's your passion. That is the main thing which makes sense.
Okay.
But I've seen people coming into AME after doing it.
How much time would it take to get into AME, like to get the licenses and all?
I think you have a 2-year course period or something. After that, you will be certified for becoming a certified aircraft flight mechanic. But not sure on exactly the timeline. Maybe I can go back and check with for you.
So that's the only way to get into airlines as an aeronautical engineer?
Not really, but main way is like that. Because airlines, they don't do much of design, like what we do in Boeing or anything. They don't do much into design. So all they do is they take the product, maintain it, and keep flying. So you can become a pilot or a cabin crew or ground crew or a maintenance crew. Mostly those are the jobs with them.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir. So my question is on digital twinning, sir.
Yes.
So what is the basic difference between digital twinning and IoT? Are they like related? And
Good
like,
question.
how can we like go on implementing on the, like it's already been implemented on the larger size aircrafts and fighter jets, but can we implement it on our like smaller drones and all those things? Is it possible?
Absolutely. See, digital, you can make anything of a digital twin. And your question on IoT and digital twin, IoT is a part of digital twin. IoT is a concept itself because all other industries use it. But physically manufacturing industries like us use a concept of digital twin because we have a physical twin also. But in IT or electronics, IoT itself is a huge branch where they use it for, say, for example, civil. They use it for building maintenance. They have smart materials, smart structures. They use IoT. IoT is a generic thing. But when we extend IoT to a twinning concept, then it becomes a digital twin. And definitely you can. So you can start modeling that out. So that would be a good project where you digitally you create something on CAD and then physically you mount the sensor, see how it is twinning, and that would be a very wonderful project.
Does Boeing have its own like digital twinning platform like the General Electronics and Rolls-Royce have it? So does Boeing have it at present?
Yes, we do have powerful teams working on such things, but only thing is I may be limited to give away the data.
Yeah, it's fine. Then regarding the career options that have been like, I have been going to the Boeing website previously. So it's like there are they require the experience. That isn't like should we have our if we say through academics, or it would be like through industrial participation in any workshop, or is it so?
Very good question. So if I have to be brutally frank, gain 2 years experience somewhere, startup or any other industry, then you will be better qualified to join than being a fresher.
Okay, sir. Then one more thing is regarding the data analysis and those things that are put up. That is like I mean, what I see, it's like it's a additional skill that we need to add on to our branch, right? So what would be our role if we get into through that platform, like data analysis and?
Okay, here I may not be able to tell you some specifics on what we work on data analytics, but data is very important to us. So flight data, if a aircraft flies and comes down, what we do with that data, trying to understand the behavior of the aircraft. So we directly don't know how to interpret that data. So we need data analytics team to put it as a, say, stress strain curve or something, and then that data will be valid for us. Then based on that, we will start doing inferences. So that is the role of a data analyst.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful question.
Hello, sir. I'm Swasti. My question is how difficult it is for a student right after bachelor's in aeronautical engineering to get into companies like Airbus and Boeing, and what are the main qualities the recruiters anticipate from the students, especially when you do not belong from institutes like IITs?
Tough question. As I said, brutally honest, take 2 years outside experience and then apply. That's all I can say. It's very difficult because I've pitched many times to my own teams, my own managers that, is the off record now, sir? Okay. So, yeah. Because, just check once. quite a big one. Yeah.
Vice President Darshan L. Secretary Kshitij Naik.
character. That is the goal of true education. Quoted by Martin Luther King Jr.
Good morning, one and all gathered here. I, Pratiksha Shetty of 4th year, along with Vanilla Raj of 4th year, on behalf of staffs and students of Aeronautical Department, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you to the ceremony of welcoming our juniors to the Department Association Aeronautical Union of Rising Aviators. I request Mr. Kshitij S. Nayak, General Secretary, Aura, to escort the dignitaries to the dais.
To begin this auspicious occasion, I invite the choir to invoke the Almighty. I request all of you to stand for the invocation.
सुधाकरातमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतंसकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते बदैत्यकं नताशुभाशुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकम् नतेतरातिथीकरं नवोदितार्कभास्वरं नमत्सुरारिनिर्झरं नतादिकापदुत्तरम् सुरेश्वरं निधीश्वरं गजेश्वरं गणेश्वरं महेश्वरं त्वमाश्रये परस्परं निरन्तरम्.
Thank you, Avani Bhatt and Vaishnavi. Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity, as sunlight expels the darkness of night. I now request the dignitaries to light the lamp and inaugurate the function.
Thank you, everyone. I request Mr. Rajat Kumar, Faculty Coordinator of Aura, to welcome the gathering.
A very good afternoon to one and all. I am feeling privileged to welcome you all on behalf of Department of Aeronautical Engineering to the inaugural program of Aura and Freshers Welcome for the academic year 2022-23. So, a department association named Aeronautical Union for Rising Aviators, Aura, was established in the year 2013 with an aim to provide a platform through which students can exercise their right to freely associate in pursuit of learning and knowledge enhancement. Aura creates opportunities for leadership development, event management, and nurturing the shared interest of students, with the main objective to conduct professional activities such as guest lectures, seminars, technical talks, webinars, industrial visits, and workshops. And it is also to enhance the technical capabilities of students beyond syllabus activities. So today we have with us on this auspicious occasion Mr. Harsha RM, Lead Engineer, Boeing India, Bangalore, joined us today as Chief Guest. I extend a hearty welcome to you, sir. We are grateful to him for accepting our invitation, and I request our beloved Principal to formally welcome him. I also extend a warm welcome to our beloved Principal, Dr. M.S. Ganesh Prasad, on this occasion. I request our HOD to formally welcome our Principal. Yes. And I also extend a warm welcome to our beloved HOD, Dr. Anand Desan, on this occasion. And we have with us our association's president, Mr. S. Vaibhav Yogish. On this occasion, I extend a warm welcome to you, Vaibhav. I also take this opportunity to welcome all the deans, heads of the various departments, vice principal, and the faculty members of our department as well as from the other departments. I warm welcome to you all. I also welcome our beloved chairman, Mr. Rajesh Sota, in his absence, who is a constant source of guidance for us in conducting all events like this. A special welcome to all the third semester students, as this is your official branch entry ceremony. Welcome you all, and looking forward to work with you. I extend a warm welcome to all our students of second year, third year and fourth year, who have been working so hard from last 3-4 days to make this event a grand success. I welcome you all on behalf of the association. And I also welcome our media partner today, so Bedra Media. On this occasion, they are telecasting our event on live through YouTube. I extend a warm welcome to you all. At last, once again, I welcome one and all present over here for this event. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. And we also extend warm welcome to you too. Now I would like to call Mr. Vaibhav Yogesh, President of Aura, to present the annual report.
Good afternoon to everyone. I, S. Vaibhav Yogesh, Student President of Aura, take a great delight in reading out the annual report of the Department of Aeronautical Engineering of the year 2021-22. The students of our branch actively took part in various activities over the year with the guidance of our HOD and the faculties. A total of 172 students were a part of Aeronautical Department, each with great capability and talent. A number of events were conducted in the college by the department, and a huge number of participants took part in various competitions organized by other colleges. I am happy to share that our department got the extension for MBA accreditation for up till the year academic year 2026. An invited lecture was given by Mr. Manas Jain, a research scholar from IIT Kharagpur, who delivered a session on Gate Aerospace Engineering on 8th November 2021. A technical talk was given by Mr. Girish K, Director BAIL, who spoke about aeronautical engineering industry and career perspective on 24th November 2021 during the branch entry of Aura year 2021-22. On 29th of November 2021, a webinar was conducted by Mr. Sandeep Nagaraj. He spoke about higher education prospects and opportunities. A 3-day workshop on RC modeling Vayana 4.0 was conducted on 9th, 10th and 11th December 2021, which was open to all branches. A total of 169 students participated and benefited from the workshop. On 5th March 2022, an invited talk on recent developments in science and technology in Indian defense sector was conducted by Mr. Jaiprakash Rao, former Regional Public Relations Officer, DRDO. Mr. E. Janardhan Rao, former scientist at ISRO, gave an invited talk on Indian space program perspectives and its opportunities on 7 May 2022. An invited lecture on challenges and opportunities in aerospace and aviation industry was given by Mr. Shashanka RH, Manager in Helicopter Division, HAL, on 10th May 2022. 2 days workshop on virtual instrumentation for vibration analysis was conducted on 30th June 2022 and 1st July 2022 by Dr. K.V. Gangadharan and team, Center for System Design, NIT Surathkal. An industrial visit was organized for the current 4th year students for 3 days. The first day visit was to Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO Bangalore, which was on 30th June 2022. On 1st July 2022, the students visited the Government Flying Training School, Jakkur, and on 2nd July 2022, the visit was to HAL Heritage Center, Bangalore. Aerino, the Aero Club of the department, presented 3-day workshop from 17th to 19th October 2022 on drone making in association with Space Chase Private Limited, Bangalore, supported by AICT Spices. Further, aeronautical students took part in various competitions which were held in different colleges. Mr. Yagnesh G brought laurels to the aeronautical department by securing 6th rank in VTU examination in the year 2021-22. Sharun P. Divakar from the batch of 2022 has achieved laurels in the field of martial arts. He secured silver medal in amateur mixed martial arts held at Bangalore on 17th October 2021. He has represented Mite, Karnataka, inter-district and interstate competition and was selected for nationals on 24th October 2021. He has participated and passed the examination in the art of Muay and Muboran and ranked as boxer. He has won gold medal in state level karate championship held at Mandya on 14 December 2021. Students from our branch participated in inter-college competitions held at Sridevi Institute of Technology, Mangalore on 5th June 2022 and secured first and second place in paper presentation, second place in air crash investigation. Recently, under the guidance of Team Aerino, students of 3rd year participated in Contrails, a Global Aviation Symposium 2022, which was held on 18th and 19th of October 2020 in Chennai and secured first and second place in aero modeling, first place in paper presentation. Three projects from the Aeronautical Department has got the sponsorship from the year 2022 from KCST. 2 projects are sponsored from VTU. A total of 10 projects batches presented their project work in national and international conferences. I take pride in reading out the achievements of our beloved faculties. This time, our HOD has achieved great positions in VTU. Sir has been appointed as a member of Board of Studies by VTU for Aeronautical Engineering and also been appointed as Chairman of Board of Examination by VTU for Aeronautical Engineering. I congratulate Sir on behalf of students. Total of 78 students have attended internship program in reputed industries like Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, Bangalore, SimTools Private Limited, Bangalore, Government Flying School, Jakkur, K-Tech Center of Excellence in Aerospace and Defense, Dautya Aerospace, High Flying Cognition, and SAE Bearings. The Aerino Club continues to move towards glory as they design and make various kinds of ASIP planes and multi-rotors. A total of 42 out of 58 graduates were placed in prestigious companies in the academic year 2021-22. Many milestones have been achieved and many still have to be reached. We, the Aura family, continue our unceasing efforts to mold our minds into well-balanced personalities with confidence meeting the standards of this portal of our education. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Vaibhav. As the first step of welcoming our juniors, I would request the chief guest, Mr. Arsha RM, to hand over the badges of Aura to the class representatives. I request the class representatives to collect the badges.
Thank you everyone. I now call upon Mr. Devang Mehta to introduce the guest speaker to the gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I have the distinct honor of introducing our guest of honor and speaker. Distinguished guests and learners, I am delighted to welcome you all on this occasion. Mr. Harsha RM, he's been currently working in Boeing Aerospace as a lead engineer. He earned a mechanical engineering bachelor's degree in 2006. Mr. Harsha became a member of technical staff at HCL Technologies and focused on compressor and industrial designs. In the past, he has also worked for Collins Aerospace on hydraulic actuators and thrust actuators. He has also collaborated with ADI experts on basic designs of AMCA in disciplines of aero accessories and systems. His contribution to society has been the development of weapon systems and their mechanisms. He currently holds the position of a lead engineer in Boeing Aerospace, where he collaborates with the test and evaluation team to produce flight tests and ground test designs. He also oversees the development of Boeing India's structural lab capabilities. He also is a great speaker to many national and international institutes in India and abroad. He is a fascinating person, but we are grateful that he is with us here today. And we are looking forward for your guidance, sir. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to sir.
Thank you, Devang. I would now request Mr. Harsha RM, Lead Engineer at Boeing India, to address the gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone. You have already heard me in the morning, so I don't want to repeat what I said in the morning. Just a few other things what I observed. One, when I landed today morning here, and I was greeted by the HOD, and also I met a few students. I saw the enthusiasm of the students and their willingness to join the aerospace industry, because that is one of the intents that I go and give these delivery speeches, because me and the principals are also discussing the same over lunch, that most of the crowd is getting somewhat pulled towards the IT, and we need to probably inspire them to come back, because the opportunities there are there, but in aerospace we need to create opportunities and give them guidance, basically what they need to do to come to aerospace. So that is a part of me giving these lectures, so that a few of them can come back and pursue their passion in core aerospace. And I also was listening to the report presented by Aura. So it is fascinating that so much of collaborations are happening from the team here and also the students. I wish that you continue and scale it up to next level in every aspect, every domain, because as we all know that the industry readiness comes only when you are interacting with industries, and not that somebody comes and trains you in your campus, but if you go out of your campus, naturally you will start gaining more skills towards industry. It's not just the technical skills, but also the people skills, the management skills, the way, the behavior, all those things that count when you are attending an interview. So I would wish you to continue all that, and I also heard that a few projects have been funded. I know how difficult it is to convince somebody to win over some budget and project money, because I do it in Boeing day in and day out. Some of my funding has come after 3 years of continuous pursuit. So what I mean to say is that if you are funded, means that you are really doing good. It's not easy. It's a very challenging task to convince somebody to give you money. So continue to do so. Continue in multiple aspects. Scale up again the budgets. If it is 100 rupees now, make it 500 rupees. I mean, an added advantage to whatever you're doing. Scale it up. That's how the startups scale up. They start with seed money, then they go for higher investments and multiple investments. So like that, you start pursuing that. And I think overall, as I said, the rating is very, I rate 3. So you can think of 4. As I mentioned earlier, the publications, the patents, all those things, think in those terms. And if you have such things in your resume beforehand, before approaching an industry, That could be your differentiator that the industry people might look for you. If you're a patent holder or a patent, at least you're filed for a patent, your resume could stand out in terms of others, because it's a very competitive market. I'll tell you that we had 4 open positions for my team, and the number of resumes we received was 1,720. So we had to filter from 1,720 to 4. So what is the differentiator you bring in your resume matters a lot. How different you are from others. Apart, the certificate everyone gets as
HOD sir was mentioning about the certification and the qualification. So what do you do extra that you can be chosen out from companies? Think over that, and that's all I have to say, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Now it is time for us to acknowledge the talent of our meritorious students. I request Mr. Harsha Aryam, the lead engineer at Boeing India, to felicitate the academic toppers of the academic year 2021 and 22. The academic toppers of first year to collect the certificate and memento. Litikshan, first place. Bandari, second place. I request the academic toppers of second year to collect the certificate and memento. Tushar, first place. First place. Vanilla Raj, second place. Thank you, sir. Now we like to proceed to the logo launching of the Aeronautical team. I request the guest speaker to hand over the badges to the team leads. Now, I would like to call Aeronautical team leads on the dais. Mohammad Sohail Rafiq, Shettika Gagan Anand, Afifa Fatima Begum.
Thank you everyone. We are pleased to announce the release of the 7th edition department magazine, The Altitude. This magazine, hitting newsstands in the current academic year, will feature students and faculty's achievements, internships and extracurricular activities.
Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. M.S. Ganesh Prasad, Principal, to felicitate winners of the activities that were conducted on location of branch entry. Paper plane competition, runner-up, Muhammad Raif Khalid. Winner, Hashid S. Bandari. Chess competition, runner-up, Abhishek MV. Winner, Manikant P. Kapar. Technical quiz, winners are Raghavendra, Sharan Royce Pinto, Karthik S, Nitik Shunyam.
Thank you everyone. Now I would like to call upon our beloved head of the department, Dr. Anand SN, to address the gathering.
Very good afternoon to all of you, and it's my pleasure and the privilege that my department, along with my colleagues, we are heartily welcoming our third semester students. And as in our language, that is in aeronautical language, you have boarded your aircraft 2022, and now the further journey is yours. And definitely in all aspects we try. In all aspects we try to help you people, but only thing is that please take initiatives, come forward with your own ideas, and myself as well as my department faculties definitely will always come forward to help you people. And one more important thing which I want to tell you here is, or I want to share with all of you is, Mr. Asha, who is my industrial friend, always is ready to help us in all aspects of us, and probably in future through him many more people are coming, and definitely Asha sir, so we are always expecting more from you, and virtually or presently or as he said, actually he is ready to guide us also for the future work, especially with respect to our aircraft projects, and definitely we will try to make use of him for all our future work. And one way actually I requested him to help us for the recruitment also. He said he very clearly has given the instructions So I ask all those students to work for some startups before getting into the Boeing. Then only at least 1 year or 2 years of experience definitely is ready to help our student. He himself told us actually. I expected that, but before asking, he only said that actually he's ready to help us in that directions. So probably in future we'll try to encash it, and we'll work all of us together and we'll try to make use of his expertizations to enrich our knowledge also. And again, on behalf of my faculties from the department and final year students and pre-final year students, let me welcome all our third semester beloved students. Welcome you all once again. And all the best for all your future endeavors. Again, I am promising we are all with you for all your work, and come take an initiatives, come forward, and definitely. And again, I need not to tell that Principal Sir belongs to our department only. Definitely he will be with us. And Sir is already handling you the subject, which is a material. And again, he had a lot of discussions with industry expert Mr. Harsha, and they were discussing lot of things about the materials. So probably in all these directions, if you look at it, so there are a lot of great futures for us also, and we'll try to go ahead in that directions, and we'll make our own distinct futures, and we'll try to stand differently always. And my wish is this: always think differently, try to work it out of the box, and try to come out with the best things. All the best once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. On this auspicious occasion, we would like to acknowledge our gratitude towards the teaching and supporting staffs of the department. On behalf of the association, we would like to hand over a token of gratitude.
I request Ms. Ashmita to hand over memento to Richard sir. I request Mr. Vaibhav to hand over memento to Hari Prasad sir. I request Mr. Anish Kumar to hand over memento to Mohammad Rafi sir. I request Mr. Kshitij to hand over memento to Ranjita madam. I request Mr. Devang to hand over memento to Tilak. I request Mr. Gagan to hand over memento to Dr. Anand sir. I request Mr. Anish Pedachaya to hand over memento to Professor Sujit Kumar. I request Rahul to hand over the memento to Professor Ajit Kumar. I request Mani to hand over the memento to Professor Vishwarendra Kayal.
I request Ms. Siribhuwana to hand over the memento to Professor Ezil Maran. I request Ms. Vasundhara to hand over the memento to Professor Aarti T. Patil. I request Mr. Hendrik to hand over the memento to Professor Gina Joseph. I request Mr. Sabil to hand over the memento to our beloved principal, Dr. M.S. Ganesha Prasad. I request Devang to hand over the memento to Tilak. I request our principal to hand over the memento to Bedra Media. Thank you, sir. I now invite our respected principal, Dr. M.S. Ganesha Prasad, to deliver the presidential address.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you be comfortable for some time? You can sit. Respected dignitaries on the dais, chief guest for today's program, Mr. Harsha RM, my fellow colleague, Dr. Anand, HOD Aeronautical Engineering, Professor Ajit, my fellow student friend, Vaibhav, Vice Principal, Dr. Rajshekar, Dean Academics, Dr. Devakar Shetty, Dean Quality, Dr. Vinambika, my other colleagues of heads of the other departments, Professor Ravi Narayan, Manjunath, my other colleagues, Dr. Mohan and Shivanand, faculty colleagues of Aeronautical Engineering, my dearest students. Definitely it's a greetings day to all of you, because of a simple reason all of you have come onto the same platform to interact your intellectual ability, how best you can learn. The learning through peers is considered to be the best method of learning, because you will be remembering quite long time, which I used to mention for most of the club activities. This is one of the uniqueness of Mite, is educating the students across all the departments through this club activity. Now, the students of third and fourth year students, responsibility is more, because you need to take the second year students along with you. When Mr. Vaibhav Yogesh was actually reading from the first word to the last word, everyone was actually going in a high way, stating that the department actually identified as prizes, okay, from the first to the last, from IITs, NITs and different universities, which they, wherever they won, wherever they go, they actually brought the laurels to the department. Now the responsibilities of the second year students to follow that particular footstep. How best you can be a part of such teams and make sure that your resume, the lines on the resume can be improved before you are going to showcase, before you are going to market yourself when you come to the fourth year. The aeronautical engineering as a whole considered to be the master of all the engineering branches. Why? Because the other engineering branches are supposed to develop the products which are supposed to be carried by an aero or a flying object. In the single sentence, let me tell you, so all the other departments are developing the products which are more or less with the technology required for aeronautical engineering. I mean, from the other context point of view, the technology at aeronautical engineering is almost ahead by at 5 to 10 years. Hope my friend Harsha will agree with me. To catch up that, the automotive engineering, the other engineering branches, supposed to really work hard, because any technologies which are optimized supposed to be tested in the aero engineering. So, I mean, from that line, dear students, it is your responsibility not only to digest the contents of the subject, the syllabus. You have to go out and learn the current trends in the aeronautical engineering, which can happen only through these types of forums. Of course, the responsibilities of the office bearers over here is to to invite the best of the best speakers who can able to guide and give a technological advanced information to our second year and third year students. I'm really happy that you made me homely, and also along with me, my other colleagues also felt that it's a very homely atmosphere. Okay, so I wish all of you all the best. Thank you, Ananda.
Thank you, sir. And I now request our principal to hand over a memento to our chief guest as a token of gratitude. Thank you, sir. I now request Mr. Darshan Yel, Vice President of Aura, to propose vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. Myself, Darshan Lokesh of third year, would like to take this opportunity to deliver the vote of thanks. Firstly, I would like to thank our beloved chief guest, Mr. Harsha RM, for accepting our invitation and for being with us today. Your thoughts have truly inspired us, sir. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to thank our chairman, Mr. Rajesh Chowta, in his absence for constantly supporting us all the way. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to thank our principal, Dr. M.S. Ganesh Prasad, for gracing us with your presence and guidance, sir. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to thank our beloved head of the Department of Aeronautical Engineering, Dr. Anand S.N., for being generous with your time, when your students need you, no matter what, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Next, I would like to thank all the faculties and facilitators for being present here. Next, I would like to thank Bedra Media team for streaming this program live in their YouTube channel. Thank you. Next, I would like to thank all the students and my friends to present here and make this day possible. And I would like to thank each and everyone present here and make this day a wonderful and memorable. Thank you so much. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Darshan.